today?
We are live today.
We're live. Good morning. Hi, Jen.
Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Muffin Show. How are you?
I'm good. I'm still in Ely at my parents'. It's beautiful. We had a nice walk yesterday in the woods. Yeah, it's good. All is good. How are you doing today?
Great. Well, I was working hard in my office here, getting some little inspiration from my baby Yoda back there. I can't tell which way is the direction.
I can see Baby Yoda.
Okay, so today's topic is obviously one that I think a lot of people are sick and tired of, which is voting. And this year is a total mess, but I'm not going to talk about particular parties or what. I just want to talk about real estate and how it affects voting and everything that it includes, because most people, they don't necessarily think of real estate when they think of political parties and things like that, but it's very pertinent. Where you live, your voting districts, your school systems, your zoning, it's all interconnected.
It is. It is all interconnected.
Yeah.
And it helps to know who you're voting for and who the parties are.
Yeah. And totally more locally than nationally, but people always, they want to vote only in the nationals. A lot of people do, but, I want to go way back in time. Can I go back in time?
Please, Jen, go back in time.
Okay. Where's my go back in time machine?
Uh-oh. I think she froze.
Now, back to 1991. This is one of my favorite topics, the voter motor bill. And do you remember Rock the Vote?
The song?
No, Rock the Vote. It was like a big collection of artists. Okay, Tipper Gore, back in the day, she was very anti-rap, naughty words and things like that, and she wanted to censor music. Well, I know, right? Not a good thing. So they had to figure out a way to get more young kids involved in politics. And what somebody had invented, and with a bunch of artists, was Rock the Vote. And they were trying to get basically young people to register to vote. And they did that through something called the voter motor bill.
Okay, so tell me what that is, because
the voter motor bill, and let me pull up my screen. I think I can share my screen. Let me just go here. Here we are. Do I click on this one? Share screen. There. Okay. Screen share works best. Easiest with 2 monitors. Well, I don't have 2 monitors. Share screen. Okay.
Maybe
Chrome tab. Here we go. I'm going to share this one. This is page 96, I do believe. It was page 96 of the Minnesota Drivers booklet. Okay, driver's manual. See? And it goes through all kinds of things, but on page 96, which I'm so sorry I scrolled through this. You guys, if I'm making you sick by scrolling through it, I'm sorry. But right here, you can see voter registration straight in the middle of the page. You may register to vote at the same time you apply for a driver's license or identification card. Simply check the voter registration box on the driver's license application and sign your name. It has to be within 30 days prior to election day. Anyway, so there's that. And then how do I get out of here? Stop sharing. So I'm back. Okay. So what happened was REM had, you remember those long boxes that they had? They put CDs in to fit in the old record holders. Because CDs were this big and records were this big.
Of course.
Yeah. So what they did was they were really mad that they had to use all this wasteful trees for the stupid long box. So they're like, we're going to make use of it. We want to put the voter motor bill petition on the back of it. So that's what they did, and that's what helped pass it in 1993. So theirs was on their album Into the Night or Into the Light. I think it was. I don't remember the name of the album, but they put that on in 1991, and the voter motor bill was passed in 1993. So
very cool.
And we got links to it if you guys want to see it. So there's a voter motor bill. Yeah. And if you want to learn more about the whole backstory, where I learned about it, as always, is one of my beautiful podcasts, 99% Invisible. They aired this back in 2014. And obviously, I've never forgotten it. 6 years later, I can still remember it like the back of my hand.
Okay. I have to ask, because you have this up here, what is 99% Invisible podcast?
It is a design podcast. Now, it originally started in an architect like building by Roman Mars, and he's really into design, and he's really into all kinds of things. And I started listening to it, obviously, because real estate, architecture, and things like that, and design. And it goes into like the design of everything. And I love it. So, and now they are part of the, what is it? It's a big cooperative.
That's okay.
I know, it's morning time. Coffee. Hold on.
Coffee.
I'll remember it and I'll put it on there. They're part of a bigger cooperative of podcasts. But okay, now it's your turn.
So, well, I was just going to talk a little bit about, I recently moved, and I lived in Golden Valley and for almost 28 years. And now I'm living in Robbinsdale, but I'm still, I haven't registered to vote in Robbinsdale. So I am still going to be voting in, and I'm voting on voting day. I'm not doing a mail-in or anything like that. I'm voting in Golden Valley, so I won't be selecting anybody that's currently in the Robbinsdale district or the city of Robbinsdale. So, but what I do know is that if, when you do move, or if you have been in the process of moving prior to voting, and you can register to vote on voting day. All you need is a legal ID, driver's license, passport, student ID, and you need something that has your address on it, like a utility bill or something like that. Or if you don't have something like that, or a lease, but you can actually have somebody come and vouch for you also. So driver's license, passport, somebody to vouch for you, or a utility bill, and you'll be able to vote. And then I just wanted to talk about the importance of knowing who you're voting for and getting all that information so that we are making educated decisions on who we are. And like you said, local politics are so important. It's not just about who's running for president. So we need to keep ourselves informed. That's what I have to say about that.
Well, there was some bad dealings back in the day with real estate and politics. There was things like steering, where naughty real estate agents were telling people, don't move here. This is a bad part of the neighborhood. And now we have the Fair Housing Act, which actually protects the public from what we say. Like, we are bound by that law. We are not allowed to steer people. We are not allowed to, what are some of the other things? I don't know why. Redlining, but that's more of a bank thing. Redlining is where a bank says we won't give any loans in this particular neighborhood to this particular demographic, which is, I can name some suburbs around here that are quite obvious.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and it's there. Do you know that there is a large disparity in home ownership between the two political parties?
Jen, I did not know that. Are you serious?
Seriously.
There's homeownership disparity between Democrats and Republicans?
Yeah.
Does that have anything to do with race?
I'm not going to say, because this is once again, I'm bound to the Fair Housing Act. So please go out there and do your due diligence. But there's also some cities here that have new forms of political redlining, such as I really like to call out Lakeville. Lakeville has rules about not building a house smaller than 2,500 square feet, which they do, which is actually, it makes it very hard to afford on one income. And we all know there's some issues, I mean, being a single mom once before, I can't imagine if like my husband was in jail and I had to take care of kids and wanting to have a good education for them so they don't have to get put in jail again and not being able to move around. I think Minneapolis has a great thing for home ownership. They have something called a land trust program, which basically the city buys the land and you buy the house. And it cuts that cost almost like in half. And I think that there's a huge motivation for people to do that. There are some countries that are actually, or like, what city was that? I think it was San Francisco that they were just talking about how they will give developers actually a credit. Like the developers will buy 10 units of land to develop on, and the city will give them 20 if they use the other 10 will be on a lottery system for low income housing.
Oh, that's
so that's
fantastic.
it is. So there's a lot of things that we can still do, but what it does is it takes people voting at that local level.
Yes,
And to really understand what they're voting for and how they want it. So I encourage everybody to know what's going on in your neighborhood because it affects you, it affects our future, it affects our system, it affects everything.
Education, everything.
Yeah.
It does.
Okay.
So
well,
we need to get out the vote. That's what
yeah, get out and vote.
Okay.
And our time is up. We don't want to take up too much of everybody's day, but it was fun doing this with you today. Yeah. And I hope to see you again tomorrow. Good luck with your internet.
What are we talking about tomorrow?
Oh, that's a good question. Wednesday. Oh, we're talking about Mary Shelley.
Oh, okay, Mary Shelley.
The author of Frankenstein and how we can relate her to Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Everybody. We'll see you later.
Have a great day.
Bye.